Welcome to the 2020 Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Now you might see these chrome bumper extensions, the protruding parts, the big grille, and say, no, I don't like it, it's too much. But most people seem to really love the way this car looks, especially from the front and the side profile. It's in the Fortuner and Everest class, and if you think about it, and in terms of style, it's way more futuristic than its competitors. I think that will be a huge selling point for this car. People don't just want to follow the trend of buying a Fortuner or buying a Everest. So buy something different. It's not a bad car. Right off the bat, let's just pause the music. It's not a bad car. This car is very, very good. So you've got LED headlights, full length LED running lights. There's a nice little crystal section here which looks very nice. Indicator, fog light, and a turning light as well. So if you turn the wheel, and I've checked, even if you have the fog lights on, there is a third light down there that as you turn the wheel left to right, that side light will go on to illuminate more of your peripheral view. The side profile as well, it's a lot more sleek, and it almost looks stretched out a bit, but those sleek lines make it look smaller than it actually is. And also you've got this very cool wheel design fitted with Toyo open country all-terrain tires. They definitely feel a bit more off-road orientated than the tires that its competitors come with. I had a little quick run around, even just in two-wheel drive in sand, it seems to have enough grip. I haven't deflated it yet. Depending on how it goes, I will, but so far when I put it in four-wheel drive, it wasn't necessary. As with the front, the rear can also be a bit dividing. These tail lights are, I'll call them different, but again, it makes it unique. It makes it stand out from the crowd. This car attracts more looks than its competitors, which is quite interesting. Added for the new 2020 model is a electric tailgate as well, and there's obviously your jumper seats in the back. I think if you had to look at an individual part of the car, the front, the side, or the rear, you'd see stuff that you wouldn't necessarily like, but as a whole, when you take a few steps back and just look at the car as a whole, it all comes together. There's a reason why it's designed the way it is. The lights, for example, yes, there's a section here, but like if you just look at the light, it looks weird, but it actually flows into the body lines of the car, which also makes it just feel more rounded off. It's not just a light that's just stuck on the car and there you go, there's your tail light. But obviously we are SF4x4, so there's only really one thing that matters, and that's how it drives off-road. Now you've got Mitsubishi's Super Select 4-wheel drive system. It's got 2 high, 4 high with the center diff locked, and 4 low with the center diff locked. There's also rear diff lock, which you can control manually. Interior wise, again, it's up to par with its competitors. Nice mix of high quality plastics, at least not cheap. Some leather. You've got your 4-wheel drive system controls here, your downhill ascent control, your handbrake, gear lever, with the infotainment up here. Something to note, there's no volume buttons, it's all on the screen. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which again I appreciate. Cable based, but it's reliable, it works. Then you've got your buttons on the steering wheel for your audio, your digital dash, and your cruise control. Your phone controls are over here. And then the piece de resistance of this car, metal column mounted gear shift pedal. Now that is something you only really see on very high-end sports cars. Some people like it, some people don't. The one advantage of column mounted shifted pedals is that they're always in the same position, and it's not like if you're turning and then it's like, oh, it's over here, and okay, you're not supposed to cross your hands, so now you like have to use your left hand to shift up. There it is, it's always there. What more can you want? Most shifter pedals only react the way they should when you are under full acceleration or full throttle. These seem to react equally as fast whether you are at 10% throttle or 100%, and it actually changes the gears, not like some of its competitors where the gear shifter pedal is merely a suggestion of what gear you think the car should be in, and then it decides if it feels like it or not. Up front you've got HDMI. I actually want to test something later. In theory, I can plug my PlayStation into this, so I want to test to see if that works. 2 USB ports, one you can use for your audio, the other one for your phone, for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then your diff lock button, and a 12 volt lighter socket. Behind me there's also a 230 volt 2-point plug, which again, it's just so handy to have on cars these days. And then you've got your boot release button here as well. Whew. Cape Town February gets a bit toasty. So obviously styling you can live with, but the determining factor for any buyer, at least in our industry, is how it performs. And that's not necessarily being the fastest. Not that this car is slow. I'm actually surprised how quick this car is, considering the class that it's in and the power that it has, mainly due to the short ratio gearbox. It's off-road functionality and performance. Going to be doing some stuff and let's just see what happens. Okay, so let's give it a test. I'm in 4 high, traction control off. I actually maybe turn the traction control on to see what it does. Now with sand, most of the time momentum's your friend, but momentum isn't always possible, and I'll always keep saying the same thing, but momentum is what breaks cars if you don't do it right. So I'm actually going to see how little speed I can carry and let the systems do the work, going up this little incline. Bit more power to carry you out. And there you go. And I have to commend Mitsubishi for what they've achieved. They've made the car sporty in a sense that it handles very well on the road while also being very comfortable. It's not hard at all. The ride is comparable to its rivals, but it handles tight curves and bends on open roads at speed very well. Now I know sand isn't for everyone. Not everyone enjoys seeing sand content. But at the end of the day, it's one of the terrains where the systems get tested, and obviously you still need a certain amount of driver's skill to do off-roading, but successfully at least. You want to see what the technology is able to do. I mean, I'm just in normal 4 high now. Okay, I've deflated the tires to 1 bar. I may have gotten a little bit stuck, but that was trying to do something from a dead stop, and yeah, that went as expected. A little bit of shovel work and we made it through. So as an off-roader, again with most factory vehicles or OEM vehicles these days, tires are the limiting factor. The tires are the limiting factor. It's not the engine or lack of technology these days. It's how you can put all that technology down to the ground. Now that being said, these tires are pretty good, especially now that I've deflated them. Yeah, I mean, they deal with the conditions very well. As long as you keep your wits about you and manage your expectations about what a factory car can do, you won't have any problems. So yeah, big thumbs up from me for this one, if you plan on using it in sand at least. So just summarizing the off-road ability, I mean, the only time the car lets me down is when I let it down. It's quite a crucial part. But yes, I would actually be very happy to take this on something a bit more technical than sand. So overall impressions, I think it is a very compelling package, especially due to the styling. It sets itself apart from its competitors. Off-road capabilities is on par with the competitors. The 4-wheel drive system reacts very well. The traction control system isn't too intrusive, but it's there if you need it. And I think for the money, which is 709,000 Rand, this definitely gives its competitors a run for its money, and I think a lot of people will be picking it due to the fact that it's not too usual. It stands out, it's unique, and it's a Mitsubishi, so it's got pedigree. So from the SF4x4 team, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you would want to see next, which vehicles and where you would like to see them go. Remember to follow our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to our newsletter as well. You can do that on our website. At the top right hand corner there's a little blue icon, and download our free app. It's available on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store, and it allows you to stay up to date with all the new vehicle reviews, gear items and travel stories, and it's completely free. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.